Hey Jelly Babes, welcome back to my channel. So I thought that I would give a little beginner's guide to stamping to help my Jelly Babes out. So normally when I do my stamping I really speed it up, but I've not edited it at all, so I can show you nice and slowly how I stamp. Okay, so I'm using a flexi scraper, that's just my personal preference. So you want to get the polish and place it onto the plate like so. Pick up your scraper and lightly scrape, and if you can see it's a little bit blurred you can put it in a different direction and then you'll get a nice crisp image. Then lightly roll the stamper over the image and there you go. And then press your nail down onto the stamper. Now I know that this looks really simple, but as a beginner myself, I know how hard stamping can be. So I wanted to give you some hints and tips and products that I would recommend that are going to make the stamping process easier for you. So I just thought I'd quickly show you how I clean my stampers. I don't use acetone as it can ruin your stampers, and the lint roller just cleans it all off nice and easy and quickly. And then your stamper's nice and ready again for you to stamp again. So for the beginners, these type of images here where there's a lot of solid detail on the plate can be a bit difficult for beginners. So it's all basically in how you apply the polish and how you scrape. If you scrape from the top down, it won't cover all of the plate properly. So I would recommend you go to the side of the image and cover as much of the plate as possible. So scrape, so you can see that it's not done everything properly, and if you scrape it in another direction it just takes the polish where it needs to go. And then again, lightly roll it. Don't press down too hard as you'll distort the image. And you can see there you've got a nice crisp image. And with these type of images, especially with lines, don't press down too hard or wiggle it too much, else the lines will distort. And there you go, you get it nice and crisp and all the lines are straight. And actually that's quite a good stamp for me. and obviously all the images as transferred properly. So I've quickly applied just some normal polish to my nail so I can show you how to do it on an actual nail. And then I'm going to be using this Born Pretty plate here and this solid bow image. I have done reviews on these plates, so I'll leave links to everything in the description box below so you can see the products that I use in more detail. Okay, so I have sped this up now because I didn't want the video to be ridiculously long, and it's already quite long for me. And a good tool for nail art is a clear jelly stamper. Actually, the one I'm using is just a cheap one off eBay. But what a clear jelly stamper does is help you to see where you're placing it. And I find that is an excellent help for nail art for beginners. So this is how you can do an ombre. So you can blend the different colours, which is a very sort of pretty way to have your nails. So it's quite easy to do, as I've shown you there. And then you can roll it across your nail. I did take a little bit too long, so not everything has transferred, but you can see it and you can get the idea. And then I'll show you how you can press it down onto the nail. It's just down to personal preference. If you like to roll, then roll. If you prefer to press it down, then press it down. It's whatever makes it easier for you. Whatever helps you to line it up, which I was rubbish at when I started out. I couldn't line it up at all. So my learning process was quite frustrating actually, because I used the wrong products and I actually made the process a lot harder for myself. So that's why I thought I'd do this and kind of help you, relieve you from all the stresses from it, because I know only too well how frustrating it is to see somebody that makes stamping look dead easy. You try and do it yourself and you can't do it. So that's what I'm trying to stop for you guys, because stamping is such an ace way to get fantastic looking nail art if, like me, you're not blessed with freehand skills. Okay, so this is an image that I would highly recommend if you're starting out, because you can just place it on the nail like so, and you don't have to do it precisely, and you know the whole nail is going to be covered. There's going to be no gaps, and it's so much more easier, as you can see there. And isn't that such a gorgeous image? So I've gone ahead and cleaned off the stamping polish off the camera. So here are my quick swatches. So now I'm going to go on to products that I would recommend. Okay, so there's lots of stampers out there on the market. This is just my personal preference. If you prefer others or recommend others, that's totally fine. I'm just giving you my personal preference on what I would recommend, so you don't spend loads of money wasting money on stampers that are no good for you. Okay, so I wouldn't recommend having firm stampers and non-sticky. I think it makes the stamping process harder. I think if you've got a stickier, squishier stamper, my personal preference is that that's going to help you and aid you with stamping. So if I show you here, when you try it, you've got to press down fairly firm on a firm stamper, and it doesn't quite fill the whole nail. And I just found it, I tried to learn with a firm stamper, so take it from somebody who's done that. I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it at all. I prefer much squishier. So this one, it is a firm stamper, but actually it's got a little bit of give on it. And this was like my second stamper, which I really did find it was much better using this than my first stamper, which I don't have anymore because I don't use it, because I find it so frustrating to use. Okay, so there's lots of XL stampers out there, and basically the one that I would recommend you spend your money on for a beginner is this one from Nail Artisan. Now, I have done a proper review on this. If you want to see that, I'll leave links to it in the description box. And I just thought I'd show you, this is the little box that it comes in, and you actually get the holder and, let me just get in it, 2 stamper heads for £8.50, which I think is an excellent value for money. And because it's sticky and super squishy, it really does take and does all the hard work for stamping, because it just picks the images up so much easier, and you don't have to press down as firm as well. Yeah, so I'll show you how much easier it is by, like, if you look how much the nail goes into the squishier one on the left hand side compared to the right, you really don't have to press down so hard, and it like it covers the nail more. So moving on to plates then, I have lots of different varieties of plates. So I've got all these here. So I've got Queen, Born Pretty, Ajubis, Uber Chic, Moira, and Marianne Nails. Now, I love all of these. I'm not saying that they're not any good, but I just think for beginners, I think you would find them a little bit more difficult to work with. But I work with them all fine, and I absolutely love them. But ones that I've used recently, and when I started out, were I used these recently, these Bundle Monster ones and the Blogger collaboration ones, and I just think they are so easy to pick up, and they're great value for money as well, because you get 5 plates for £15, which you know, nail art is expensive, so you know, if you can get things at for a good deal at a good price, then that's even better. But the pickup on these plates is amazing, and I found it so easy. So that's a definite one that I would recommend. And ones that I got when I started out was the Moyu ones as well, because again, they're good value for money. I think they were £4.99 when I started buying them. I think they've gone up by £1 recently, but still, I think they're good value for money, and they are easy to pick up the images. So I thought I'd just highlight to you as well, because you can get different sizes, and if you're not sure or new to stamping, you can end up buying the wrong plates for your nail size. So this version is the XL version, so if you've got a bit longer nail, then that's the one I would recommend. So they're nearly 1 inch long, and they are half an inch wide, generally for the XL. And then this is if you've got smaller nails. So if there's more images on the plate, then that is for ones that have got smaller nails. Okay, so I brought this one, and this one's a bit too small for my nails really. So generally the size is, again, it's half an inch long by half an inch wide. So these are for if you've got smaller nails, but I generally get XL because I try and swatch it on my pop sticks. But that first one is probably one that I'd recommend for beginners, because it doesn't matter how long or short your nails are, they're going to be really easy to use. Okay, so finally, moving on to polishes. There are tons of, again, brands out there, and again, varying in price. So here are a selection of some of the companies that I've tried. And, you know, I'm happy with most of them other than these two, which I got recently. This is, I can't pronounce the name, so I'm not even going to attempt it. But these were quite expensive nail stamping polishes. I mean, they look gorgeous. They really do. Lovely polishes, and I expected them to look amazing over black, and that's why I got them. And I think these were like £10 a bottle, but I just wasn't impressed with them. I didn't think it looked highly pigmented over the black. This was meant to be a hollow and it didn't really show through. But then when you put it on lighter colours, it wasn't a nice colour at all. So, I mean, £10 a bottle is quite expensive really for what it is. So I wouldn't recommend it for beginners anyway, but I wouldn't recommend it because I didn't think it was value for money. So when I started out, I actually got these ones from eBay, and you got 5 of them, I think, for £10, and they lasted really well. And these are highly pigmented. They stamp well over black, if that's polishes that you're interested in, if you want them to stamp well over black even. So I thought they were dead good. Now, I've recently reviewed these. These were sent to me from Born Pretty. I got sent the whole collection, and I think these are good for a starter out because of the price. If you get them on sale, I think you can get them for like $3 or something like that. They do stamp well. Not all of them stamp over black, but if you're not bothered by that, it's a great way to get some good colours as you're starting out. Now, if your budget lends to a little bit more, say £6 a bottle, and you want them to stamp well over black, I recommend Hit the Bottle and Esmaltes de Kelly. They are good stamping polishes, and I think they're a better quality as well. And these are what I found recently. I get them on from eBay, and you can get a black and white for £8. So I think that's good value for money, because generally black and white polishes cost a little bit more than the colour polishes. And then finally, I think Moyu are a good one as well. You can get some at a good price, and they do also stamp well over black. So for those that are beginners to stamping on a budget, I'd recommend these polishes. I think they are a good variety and good price, and, you know, really good quality. If you can budget can lend a little bit more, I would definitely recommend Hit the Bottle or Esmaltes de Kelly, as they do stamp really well over black, and they're a good quality polish as well. And I'd also throw Moyu in there. It's a little bit more expensive than the Born Pretty ones, and they're a good price also. So thank you so much for coming and checking out this video. I really hope that it's helped you and given you some hints and tips on how you can improve with your stamping. And until next time, Jelly Babes, take care.